Hello guys, thank you for passing by my channel, and if you are new and it's your first time bumping into my channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button, share my channel with somebody, find a video that you can watch and leave a comment. Today I am going to do something that I promised. I'm going to do a full review of the Canon EOS RP. I did an unboxing video. If you check the video before this one, I unboxed the Canon EOS RP, and I promised that I'm going to do a full review of the camera and how the camera works. So I have used this camera for more than a year, I think close to 2 years now, and it has performed so well for me. That is why I got a second one, and I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why, or some of the reasons why rather, I had to buy this camera again and have two bodies of the same camera. So the Canon EOS RP is an entry level. Others would want to term it entry level, others will just want to call it a mirrorless camera, but it's an entry level mirrorless camera that was designed by Canon for the sake of meeting people's budgets. It gives you the functionality but at a good price on a budget. It was launched in 2019, and today we are going to talk about whether it is still good to own this camera or buy this camera in 2025. And I'm going to show you some of the images that I have shot using this very same camera at the end of the video. Now, the Canon EOS RP comes with a 26.2 megapixel CMOS sensor, and it is a full frame, which gives it an advantage over a lot of DSLRs and a bunch of other cameras that people use. Not to say that it's the best, but it gives it an advantage. With 26.2 megapixel, you can shoot and get beautiful quality work. You can get a lot of detail. You can have the desired sharpness you need in your pictures, and it also performs very well in low light situations. I've heard some people saying that it doesn't behave well, it doesn't perform well in low light situations, but I've used this in low light situations. It has given me splendid results. Comparing it with the Canon 5D Mark III or Canon 5D Mark IV, it has given me good results. I can't fault it for that. So the first thing that I mentioned is it is a 26.2 megapixel camera. Secondly, it comes with dual autofocus, which gives it the ability to focus fast if you desire to shoot in autofocus. But I have to specify that it is dual autofocus when it comes to the pictures and some functions or some qualities of the video. I'm going to come to the video later. It is dual autofocus. And the other thing, the main reason why I love this camera is the portable body. It's the ergonomics of the camera. If you see, I am holding it like, it's so light, first and foremost. It's portable. I can hold it with one hand. It's got a grip here. I can hold it with one hand without the fear of dropping it. That's one of the major reasons why I love this camera. I'm a wedding photographer. I spend, I think, about 60% of my time shooting weddings, 30% of my time shooting portraits. I rarely do wildlife or nature. I'm mainly shooting weddings and portraits, and sometimes events as well. So I have to think about how I am going to last and endure shooting for 8 hours. If it's a wedding, a full day wedding, I have to think about things like camera weight without compromising on the quality. And this camera weighs so little without compromising on my quality, on your quality, which is one of the biggest taking points that I have for this camera. I'm pairing it here with the 50mm RF lens, and as I'm holding it, it's barely 1 kg. I think the body on its own, I'm not so sure, you have to fact check, it's around between 800 to 900 grams. And after pairing it with a 50mm, I still feel comfortable holding it without straining myself or using so much strength. That is one of the biggest taking points of this camera. The other thing that I love about this camera is that it has a fully articulating screen. If you are into vlogging or if you are into self-portraits, it has an articulating screen. If you open it here, you can turn it all the way like that, and then it hits its end point. You can turn it like that. It doesn't go fully 360. I think it goes around 300 or so, I'm not so sure. But the idea of having a fully articulating screen just gives it another advantage. The only disadvantage it has is it doesn't move beyond this. If it's flat like this on 180, it's done. It doesn't have the ability to move a little bit back like other cameras would do. But just having the fully articulating screen is a plus on its own, which is one of the reasons why I had to buy this. As I am shooting now, I am shooting with another Canon EOS RP that I'm pairing with a 17 to 40 millimeter, and I can see myself as I am shooting. So if you are into vlogging or content creation and you want to see yourself as you are shooting, this would be a perfect camera for you, because if you are not perfectly framed or perfectly positioned in the frame, you can adjust and move as I'm doing, which is a big advantage. You save yourself the hassle of looking for somebody to record you if you are doing content creation. So this is a reasonable and a decent but camera with quality. So who can buy this camera? Rather, before I talk about that, I want to talk about some of the disadvantages of buying this camera. The first disadvantage that comes with buying this camera is I'm not shy to tell you of the advantages and disadvantages, because I'm not doing marketing, I'm not doing a promo, just so that I'm clear. I'm not doing any marketing or promo. I'm not an affiliate marketer or anything. I'm just doing a review so that if you need help with choosing your first camera as an entry-level photographer, or if you want to upgrade your camera as an amateur photographer, this is one of the cameras that you might want on the market. The first disadvantage that this camera comes with is the battery life. The battery life when it comes to pictures, I think it goes, from my experience, I know the websites can write something else. From my experience, this gives you a battery life of about 300 to 350 pictures, depending on whether you are using tethered shooting or if you have your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on the camera. If you have the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on the camera, it quickly drains the battery. But if they are off, you can shoot between 300 to 350 images, which is slightly less compared to other versions like Canon 5D Mark III, Canon 5D Mark IV. I'm mentioning these specifically because these are some of the cameras that I have used for a long time. So it has a lesser battery life when you are shooting, and if you were to record video, it's even lesser as well. The disadvantage of this camera is when you have to shoot video, it quickly drains the battery. I don't think you can shoot for more than an hour with this camera. I have shot for 30 minutes plus with this camera, but I'm yet to test it for an hour, but I don't think you will be able to. So if you are into videos, you are a content creator in terms of videos, you might want to consider getting a battery grip or shooting in multiple takes. If you get a battery grip, that would alleviate the problem. That is the con that I have with this camera. The second thing is this camera it's a full frame and it shoots 4K, but there is a disadvantage that comes with full K. This camera shoots full frame 1:1 if you are on HD, full HD, and it can give you 25 FPS, 50 FPS, and 120 FPS as well. But if you are shooting on 4K, then it gives you a crop factor. It gives you a crop factor of about 1.7, which is almost equal to a crop sensor. So that is the major disappointment that I have with this camera. When you are shooting 4K, it gives you a crop factor of about 1.7. But if you have a wide lens like I have, I'm shooting with a 17 to 14 millimeter. I can shoot, I have space, I can shoot on 17, focal length of 17 millimeter, 20 millimeter, depending on the type of lens that you have. But if you are relying on a 50 millimeter like this one, then you are at a disadvantage because you'd have to move your camera a little bit back for you to be able to shoot. The other disadvantage as well is that the autofocus on this camera, when you put it on 4K, pretty much sucks. It struggles with shooting 4K in autofocus. So if you are thinking of shooting 4K, you would have to think about shooting in manual mode. If you shoot in manual mode, you get good results at 4K. Again, it comes to your abilities, your skills. You can shoot in 4K, set your camera like I did, shoot in 4K, set your focus. But if you are still growing, you might need to consider this. So if it will be a camera for mainly videos, I wouldn't encourage this, because I can imagine trying to shoot a music video that has so much action, or trying to shoot car racing with this camera and you want 4K and you can't do manual autofocus, you have to do manual. That would be a nightmare. So that's the other disadvantage of this camera. So those are the things that I would say are disadvantages to this camera: the battery life, the lack of autofocus when you are shooting at 4K, and the crop factor. But I would still choose this camera because for the price that it comes with, it comes, you know, at a very good price. This camera came out in 2019 and it is still a good camera for you to own in 2025. You can buy it second hand from reputable suppliers. I won't mention the names as I'm not doing any marketing. You can also buy a refurbished one from Canon. The thing that happened with this camera is a lot of people were a little bit disappointed when the camera came out, especially because of the 4K abilities, and they had to send them back to Canon. So Canon has quite a couple of these that are refurbished that you can buy for a good price. I think a new body for this is going for about 900 to 1,000 pounds, British pounds. But if you would get a second hand, you can get a second hand for around 500 to 600 pounds, which is quite a bargain looking at the capabilities that this camera has, especially when it comes to pictures. So who can use this camera? If you are an entry-level photographer, this is a good camera for you. If you're an entry-level vlogger, this is a good camera for you. If you are an amateur photographer or you want to upgrade from DSLR, you can buy this as well. It is pretty good. It performs very well and gives you quite good results. I'm going to show you some of the results that I have achieved using this camera. So if you are even a professional photographer, you can use this. I use this to shoot weddings, and I just put a battery grip on it, or I have two of these. I can shoot an 8-hour wedding. You can have backup batteries anyway. This would be a good camera. I love the fact that you can also pair this with an EF lens using an EF to RF mount adapter, and you can use your old EF lenses. You don't need to buy expensive RF lenses. Like now, as I'm shooting, I'm using an EF lens 17 to 40 with an adapter, and I can still use my old lenses without having to check out everything. So this is still a bargain in 2025 because it will give you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful results and improve your photography. So I'm just going to show you some of the pictures that I have shot with this camera and show you how it performs. So I'm just going to record my screen so that I can show you the capabilities of this camera. All right, so I did this photo shoot during the day. I think I did this photo shoot in the morning. I always love to use artificial lighting, flash, whether it's strobes or flash, so that I just separate my subject from the background. So I did a shoot, I think it was around, I think I should be able to see this on the information, or I can see it for some reason. Yeah, I did this shoot around 9 a.m. in the morning, and these are my settings. As you can see, I shot this with the Canon RF50mm that I had paired it with, and I'm looking for where the there it is, the camera make Canon EOS RP, so that you see that I'm telling you the truth. And these were my settings. I shot on ISO 200. The reason why I shot on ISO 200 is because some of the places were under the shade, because this was in a park, and my shutter speed was 1/160 because my speed lights didn't have high speed sync, and I was shooting at an aperture of f5. I always shoot on f5, or if I really want a lot of detail, I shoot on f9. This is one of the reasons why I'm not fussy about, you know, lenses that are either f1.8 or f2.8, because I rarely shoot on f1.8 or f2.8. It's just a preference. Everyone has their own style, but I prefer shooting on a f5 going up to f9, f11 if I'm in the studio, just for the sake of detail. Most of my pictures are close-up portraits, so I need all that detail, all the pores on the skin texture. I need all of that, and that is why I shoot on f5 going up. So this is one of the pictures that I took. I am just going to do a quick edit. I edit my pictures using, let me just close the metadata here. I edit my pictures using Lightroom, using Capture One. I ditched Lightroom a long time ago because of the functionalities. If you check my channel, I have done quite a couple of videos, shorts, showing why I left or ditched Lightroom for Capture One. It's because of the functionality. So the first thing that I usually do when I go into the picture is to reduce my highlights, because I want the background to have a little bit more detail. So I'm going to take my highlights down a little bit, but you can see that as I'm taking the highlights down, it's making your skin darker, but I will sort that in a few. And I'm just going to bump up my contrast just a little bit, maybe up to 5. And I'm just going to come on my levels and just give it a little bit of light just around here to enhance the complexion. Let's see before and after. You can see the before, it was a little bit whitish or overexposed, not really overexposed, but whitish. And just gonna pull my blacks a little bit so that we have a little bit of contrast, especially for her hair, so that her hair doesn't look ginger but black. There we go. I'm going to work on the color as well, and before I do the color, I'm just going to dehaze it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I think let me go on 5. You can begin to see the difference of before and after. This is after, this is before. So I'm going to bring it back again to after. So I'm going to edit the colors. I want to mainly touch on the greens, and let me see which color should I go with. Dull or nah, it doesn't complement her dress, so I think I'm going to add a little bit of vibrance to the greens so that she stands out from the background. There we go. There we go. All right, this is looking good so far. All right, the next thing that I am going to do is I'm just going to pull the Zions a little bit just for the sake of the blue sky. It looks a little bit washed out. I'm just gonna pull the ions a little bit. Let me see the change. There we go, just a little bit. Now, one of the reasons why I love Capture One is the ability to edit the skin tone and even it out. So this is what you do. You come on color editor, skin tone, and you pick the part that you want. For me, I want the lightest part of hair complexion, and I want to smoothen hair skin and make it a little bit more uniform. So I'm going to pull up the hue a little bit, and the saturation and the lightness. This is for uniformity. I want to make a skin a little bit more uniform. Let's see how it goes. All right, now she's looking a little bit white, so I need to add a little bit of saturation. There we go. 7. Yep. And let me add a little bit of hue. There we go. All right, that looks good. It preserves her skin tone. Let me put a little bit more hue. There we go. Yeah. And I'm gonna bump the lightness down a little bit so that she's not too white. There we go. All right. There's something that is not just doing it for me here, so I'm just going to come back on T-Haze. There we go. Yes, that's the contrast that I was looking for. Perfect. So as you can see, there's a little bit of a separation between her and the background, which is what I was going for. And one of the reasons why I love the Canon RP is the level of detail. So when you zoom in, you realize that you still have the detail. If you zoom in, I'm on 100% right now. You can see all the tiny details of your skin. I'm on 200% now. You can still see the detail is not washed, it's not like blown out, which is one of the great capabilities of this camera. I can see the pores on your skin. Let's zoom in a bit more. You can still see. Not yet blurry. We are on 300%. Okay, when you start going to 500%, unfortunately we're running out of screen space, but you can still see skin is not yet blurry. You can still see all the details, which is why I love this camera and why I had to buy another one. Look at that level of detail. If you are into retouching, frequency separation, then you would go crazy with this kind of detail. This is the reason why this camera is a bargain in my eyes, and this is why I think if you get this camera, it will be a great game changer for your photography. So obviously I would have to do some spot removal, but I won't do it. I'll do another video. If you guys want me to do a tutorial on how to edit with Lightroom, just comment in the comment section and I'll do one. But this is one of the main reasons why I chose this picture. You know, when the more I look at this picture, I'm tempted to try to edit, but I'm just going to leave it for another day and another time. So this is one of the main reasons why I would think this camera would be a good asset and a good addition to your gear. It's affordable, it has great results, and it performs. It's versatile. You can use it for any kind of photography: real estate, wedding, event, portrait, wildlife, any other kind of event. Yeah, it doesn't have weather sealing protection, but still not many cameras come with that. It's a good bargain. Do I think you should buy a Canon EOS RP in 2025? Definitely, yeah, because this will elevate your photography, your videography, if you know how to operate around this camera. And the best thing is this camera is very affordable. You can get it without breaking the bank. In the next video, I'm going to do a review of the lens that I was using, which is the 17 to 40 millimeter f4, Canon EF 17 to 40 millimeter, and I'm going to do a review and show you why you should consider buying that camera and pairing it with the Canon EOS R. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. The comment section is there for you. Just pop in the comment section, type your question, and I'll respond to you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this, I don't want to say episode because this is not a podcast, but thank you for tuning in to my channel. Thank you for watching this video. I hope I helped you with something. And if you're a photographer, you need any help, we don't gatekeep over here. We don't gatekeep. Any tips that you would want to know, I'm free to share. Comment, reach out to me on my Instagram. The details are on the screen, or on my TikTok. I'm free and happy to help. Happy shooting. Get yourself some gear. Elevate your photography. And happy shooting. More grease to your elbows. Thank you for watching, and bye.